Hello, managers. Welcome to VR12, week 2. Your host, the underdog, aka Young Magic. Who cares about that Fitzpatrick guy? We got Young Magic here. We're in for a doozy, boys and girls. And by boys and girls, I mean everyone in the league. Any viewers elsewhere? Just want to tell you, the only thing that's mine in this outfit is the chest here. So, gotta get the rest of D-Jack soon. Getting to the current standings of VR after 2 weeks, boys and girls. Here we go. Run them down. We have 2-2-0 teams. Sergio, Darshan, congrats to you. Sergio taking home top dog after week 2. Darshan pulling in second. Then we have a ton of 1-1 teams. 8 of them in this order. Ponchal, Bryant, J Nash, Aaron, James, Luis, Matt. Round out the bottom of that 1-1 grouping is AK. And then you got the 2 losers, 0 and 2. There's 2 of them. DJ sitting in 11th place. Last place, yours truly, this guy right here, Fitz Magic. So, let me tell you what happened in week 2. All right? So, here's what happened, okay? First of all, we're going to go through the nice little roundabout known as the Underdog Revenge Tour, also known as the Underdog Encore from VR11, where we sucked. We're back to sucking, boys and girls. So let me tell you a little thing or two about what happened in this matchup. All right, first of all, Big Ben, Mr. Ben Roethlisberger himself, went off, dominated, won the entire thing, basically. Not really, but kind of. He had a total of, let me pull up my handy-dandy stats here. 35.2% of J Nash's points for this week, rounded out at 47.98 points. Just basically, no, shh, be quiet. We're doing this for real. Quiet. Shh. 47.98 points. As you can tell from a quarterback, that's great. Just wait. He wasn't even the top quarterback of the week. We'll get there. All right. So what we have here also, Michael Thomas, 12 catches, 89 yards, 2 scores. You find pay dirt twice. That's your wide receiver 1. Jay Nash is happy, living large and in charge. Honestly, this matchup really wasn't a matchup at all. From start to finish, you almost knew who won. After the noon games, it was a wrap. So moving on to the other side of the matchup. That would be this side. Darshan, just hold on. You're going to get this loving next week. Yowzer. So, we have Deshaun Watson. Showed up this week. 29.8 points. Running up about right around 30-ish% of the point total for the Underdog Revenge Tour squad. Also, Bilal Powell and Nelson Aguilar find the end zone. First touchdowns by a non-quarterback by this guy's squad. Moving on to the next matchup. I'm going to go to, let's see, who do I want to go to next? Let's go to Darshan, since I just mentioned him. Darshan and James. Darshan starts Flacco. Flacco has his first 300-yard passing game since 2016. Congrats, Darshan. Surprisingly, Fitzpatrick goes off again. Who knew? So, that's cool. Diggs, Gurley, they combined for almost 60 points by themselves. Clearly, Darshan's team chugging along here, 2-0, loving life. You flip over to the other side. James, hold this first L of VR, buddy. It ain't that much of a breeze, apparently, boy. So let me tell you a thing or two about how you lost. Well, Chris Hogan scored for you this week. He scored twice. He didn't really have yards, but he scored twice. So enjoy it. Amari Cooper, he got you some points, 116 yards. Live it up. Live it up, baby. All right. Woo! Let me tell you the final of that score, because I don't actually remember the score. Let's see here. Pulling up the stats real quick. That matchup ended in a 130.04 to 102.82 final. Clearly, it wasn't close. It was a doozy, Judge. Next one. We're going to go to, let's go to DJ and Ponchal. I'm going to start on the losing side of this first. DJ, Mixon played Thursday night. Mixon gets hurt. He's out 2 possibly 3 weeks. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see how that goes. But Gio Bernard on the bench, you're good to go. No waiver needed. You're living large and in charge. But let me tell you, Philip Lindsay, RB2, waiver wire pickup last week. That kid is in 3rd on the rushing list this year. Out of the entire NFL, week 2, he's 2 weeks in, and what does he have? The 3rd best running back in regards to yardage. Who's number 2 on that list? Oh, some guy I just mentioned, Joe Mixon. So DJ's got running backs. We don't think he has running backs, but he's got running backs. Who knew? So there's not the only thing that's going on with DJ's team. There's this wild thing going on. It's wilding out. It's the Steelers. What's wrong with the Steelers? You got AB. He's not showing up to practice on Monday. Why would he? Who cares? He's wilding out. You know what? He might go join Le'Veon. I don't know. Do you know? I mean, if he's anything like Vontae Davis, you better watch out at halftime. Tie a chain around him because he's leaving. Anyway, moving to Ponshaw here. If you haven't heard, Pat Mahomes just threw a touchdown. He throws a lot of those. As a matter of fact, he threw like 12 on 712 yards. Basically put up an all-time record. I think he threw for 900 to 2,000 yards by week 4, maybe. Week 5, he might have the NFL record. Who knows? 10 touchdowns in 2 weeks. Your first 2 games started in your career. Clearly, you were balling out. I have another roomie coming in. Shut the door. We'll get to you in a second, ma'am. Anyway, here's what we got, boys. So, along with that, you have another good setup on this matchup from Ponchall's side of things. All 3 of his wide receivers exceeded expectation. I'm talking about Brandon Cooks. Projected 7.7, ended up with just under 19, 18.9. Will Fuller, expected 8.4, ended up with 20.3. And then Anunwa, where's he sitting at? 9.2, which was projection 7.8. Clearly, you get that kind of production, you're doing fine. You add that to Mahomes' 53 or something point. What do you have? 53.84? Let me tell you this. Between Big Ben and Pat Mahomes, the quarterbacks that I and DJ faced, me and DJ watched together at my house, put up a combined over 100 points. Yes, that was fun. Anyway, you can just imagine how loud and how fast DJ's laptop closed. I mean, closed, and he threw it. It was a good distance. I'm talking like maybe 5-6 meters. Hell of a toss. Hell of a toss. Anyway, moving on to the next matchup. We're talking about Aaron, the convict. He's coming loud at you boys, and y'all ain't ready for it. Did he lose week 1? Yes. Did he win week 1? Yes. He played AK's team. AK's team through 2 weeks. He has a win because he got to play me. Lucky him. But he should be 0-2. His team hasn't produced yet. Will it turn around? More than likely. It's AK. We believe AK can do his thing. But here's what we got. This matchup ended 140.6 to 104.48. And I see here, AK looks like he changed his team name. I'm going to give a shout out. Let me butcher it real quick. Looks like it's Don Juan Die for them to Disley. Yeah. All right. Disley plays the Cowboys this week. I hope he gets nothing. 0. Zilch. Nada. But here's what we got from this matchup. It's simple. You look at this matchup. AJ Green, 3 touchdowns Thursday Night Football. The matchup was basically written in the stars right then and there. It was Dunskies. It was over, boys. It was over. But what happened next? You look at this. You like that? You like that, Aaron? Because Kirk Cousins was cooking up a Cousins barbecue in Green Bay. Yeah. 4 touchdowns, 499,999,000 yards. He was doing good stuff. Will it continue? I mean, he's got Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen to keep throwing too, so I don't see why not. Kirk Cousins, I just banged the table. Who cares? Kirk Cousins is ready, locked in, loaded. Start him this week, Aaron, or you're going to regret it. I don't know why I just did that. I just acted like I was a cop or something when, I ain't nothing like the fuzz. But good matchup for Aaron. He balled out this week. Congrats to him. He moved up the rankings. Like I said, he's currently at the moment sitting in, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's sitting in 6th place. He's in a playoff spot right now, middle of the pack. 2 weeks in. Standings can change so quick. You just got to rack up them points and then try to string a couple wins together in a row, and you're living large. All right, I'm going to move on to the next matchup. So we have a buddy of ours who was in last place last year. He started off 0-1, was in last place after week 1. His name is Luis. And you know what? He's tired of saving DJ's spot. He's tired of it. So you know what he's doing? He's beating the tail off of Bryant. That's what he's doing. And what's he going to do? How's he going to score? Well, he's going to beat him 148.78 to 109.04. How's he going to do that? Well, it's a couple things. Matty Ice. This Matt Ryan of 2018 looked like the Matty Ice of 2016. 4 total touchdowns. I didn't see that one time at all last year. That's why I'm trying to have a revenge tour, but it's the encore. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Moment of silence. All right, back to action. So what we got here, guys. He also, on top of Matty Ice and his 4 TDs, had some guy named Kelsey, had some guy named Hopkins, combined for 45.9 points. You get 2 guys that are not your quarterback and they combine for 50 points. You're loving it. You're absolutely loving it. These are his top end guys. I mean, you look at that. That's his tight end 1. That's his wide receiver 1. I mean, that's what you expect. That is literally the game plan for Luis. It worked to perfection. He got a big win. That's what it is. Congrats. He's 1-1. On the losing side of this, Brian can't hang his head completely. You got this boy Zeke. He plays, he eats, he scores, he finds the end zone. You know, we do some dance. So that's what we're doing. But other than that, he also has this guy. I told y'all about him. His name is Adam Thielen. He's getting the ball thrown by Kirk Cousins. This Minnesota team is great. This Minnesota team, if you want to actually know my prediction, will be in the Super Bowl this year. You heard it here first. Minnesota's going to the Super Bowl from the NFC. There you go. Talk about a bomb dropped on you boys real quick. Now, don't worry. They'll lose like 2 games in a row. Someone will get injured, and I'll be like, oh, my predictions are wrong. But until that happens, I'm going to act like I know what I'm talking about. So what did Thielen do? 12 catches, 131 yards, a touchdown, over 100 yards both week 1 and week 2. Bryant's loving the pickup. He's got himself a solid guy right behind, Mike Evans. So, I mean, he can't complain right now. Also in this matchup, O.J. Howard scored a 75-yard touchdown. Look, you have someone that has Fitzpatrick going for him, passing him the ball, you start him. You don't be like this guy and bench Deshaun Jackson week 1 and 2. You don't do that. You start your Tampa Bay guys. Because Matt, I don't even know why I said Matt, but Ryan Fitzmagic, that's what I was trying to say, is going nuts. He's going bazooka man. Why is it a bazooka man? Because his arms are cannons. Pew, 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 pew. Sound effects not included. So what we got here, guys, we're going to go to the last matchup of the week. Sergio, sitting at the top dog. Well, let me explain this for Sergio's team. He had an easy win. It is what it is. He was basically gift wrapped and handed it to him, silver platter and all. So let me put it into perspective for you. Cam Newton, his quarterback. Juju Smith-Schuster is wide receiver 2. And let's go with his defense. Chicago defense. Those 3 combined would have beats Matt's team as a whole. There you go. Easy win. Ka-ching! Anyway, Matt, I predicted you on Twitter through the VR Twitter account that you were going to have a good week. You let me down. You made me look bad. And for that, I'm going to make fun of you. All right? Zerline, you know what he did? He didn't want any part of this ass whooping. His ass went home. He was actually injured or something like that. But that's a different story. He ain't participating in your ass whooping. All right? And what happened to David Johnson? Honestly, David Johnson, you're a dude. You're a good dude. You're great. You're amazing. But what really comes to my mind here is, what is Arizona doing? You're paying Sam Bradford for what? You might as well pay Darshawn, Ponchal. Pay one of them. You can pay him $5 million. There you go. You just cut your amount you're paying to your quarterback, by 4. And what are you going to get? Probably the same thing. Someone that's not accurate. They can't throw. They can't even move the offense. Guess what? Josh Rosen step into the action. Step into the limelight. All right? That's what you got to do, Arizona. You heard it here from this guy, the Commish of VR. So that's what we have for the matchups. I'm going to go ahead and move on into our little bit of a preview for next week. We have Thursday Night Football coming up very soon. Jets, Cleveland. 2 good teams. I said 2 good teams. So Darnold has people in New York believing. Cleveland hasn't lost 2 games in 2 weeks. So they're freaking happy as all get out. They've had a chance to win both. Zane Gonzalez is out here selling hot dogs or something down the street because he ain't in the NFL no more. His because he can't make an extra point or field goal or anything to make his team get a win. So Cleveland's out here trying out field goal kickers in the middle of the street because they're like ready for anyone. If they can kick it 12 yards, they're ready to sign them. But that's neither here nor the point. In this matchup, we have a couple key guys going for Thursday night. On the New York side, you have Isaiah Crowell, you have Bilal Powell, you have Quincy Enunwa. On the Cleveland side, you have Carlos Hyde, you have Jarvis Landry, you have Cleveland defense. Aaron, I hope you start him. I really do. I'm not even going to lie. So that's what we have for this matchup. Thursday Night Football should be exciting. Everyone, tune in. We're watching week 3. Already going to week 3. Season's moving by too fast. But we say this every dang year. So what I'm going to do is going to give you a little bit of a prediction I think is going to happen for this next week. If my phone will ever move, I'll be able to tell you why I'm about to say this. I think my team that is going to have the biggest production of the week is Ponchell's team. Do I want it to happen? To be honest with you, no, I don't. But I think it's going to be Ponchell's team. Let me tell you why. So it's the matchup is really what it comes down to. Barkley plays against Houston. I honestly feel that game will probably be a pretty high-scoring game. Pat Mahomes, well, he's still throwing touchdowns as we're talking right now. So come Sunday, I'm sure he'll just throw another 5 more. Not like it's going to matter. He's going to put up like 700, 800 points by week 3. So other than that, we have another good matchup. The one I really like, the player that I could completely – hasn't been great for Ponchell so far, but I think can have a really big week 3, and that's Jordan Howard. Those couple of matchups are the reason why I think Ponchell's team will have the highest point total from week 3 in our league. Other than that, waiver wire Wednesday coming up tomorrow. Remember, 9 a.m. Don't pick anyone up before that. I'm going to drop them from your team. I might even lock your team. I might even give your best player to me. That's punishment. Go ahead. Pick up someone before 9 and see what happens. You heard it here first. Yeah, I might do it. I won't do it, but I might. You don't know. You have to wait and find out. Don't do it. So, other than that, Fitzmagic, a.k.a. Young Magic, baby. We play Monday Night Football, you know. Also, the Underdog is open for trades. If you want to hit me up for a trade, everyone's open. Everybody's open. We're 0-2, baby. Now, if you offer me something like Ponchell offers regularly, declined. That's a different story, though. Other than that, do not panic, everyone. DJ, you and I are 0-2. That doesn't mean panic. I might have just said I might trade my whole team, but I was kidding slightly. All right, don't quit. You don't want to be no Vontae Davis stuff at halftime. We ain't retiring. All right, I ain't cutting out and leaving my actual like regular attire. And then don't panic like the Steelers front office when they see their entire player grouping, just locker room stuff, it's a mess. Yikes. In the fashion of James, yikes nation, baby. Anyway, this is Young Magic checking out for you boys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be ready for week 3 coming up. The Underdog Revenge Tour is ready to start. Guess what, Darshan? You're next on the chopping block.